Power. Not the kind paraded in public, not the kind that clings to headlines or applause. No. Power is something far darker, far quieter. It is found in the moments when no one is looking, in the hush of empty halls, in the shadows of decisions that will never be seen. Power moves unseen, untamed. Tonight, we step into the unseen. Tonight, we witness what power truly looks like when no one is watching. The world measures power in gestures, speeches, and applause. But the truth, the raw and unadulterated truth, lies far away from the eyes of others. In rooms stripped of witnesses, even the smallest movements carry monumental weight. A hand brushes an object off a polished desk, not violently, not impulsively, but with intention, as though the air itself obeys the subtle command. Every fold of a paper, every unspoken pause, every subtle motion carries meaning. Power does not announce itself here. It whispers, it commands quietly, and it shapes reality without spectacle. Alone, a ruler paces through halls long and empty, listening only to the echo of their own footsteps. Marble floors reflect a dim glow from overhead lanterns, stretching shadows that seem to follow each decision. In the absence of witnesses, power tests itself against time and conscience. Every measured step, every held breath becomes a silent negotiation with destiny. The world outside remains oblivious, yet here, in solitude, the weight of authority is both felt and feared. Power is patience. Outside, the crowd celebrates immediate results, quick decisions, and visible victories. Inside, in darkness, power stretches moments into eternity. Decisions are not rushed. Plans unfold like a slow dance, deliberate and precise. The absence of observers sharpens awareness, magnifies every choice, and turns a single whisper into a force capable of moving mountains. In these private hours, the essence of control is laid bare, methodical, meticulous, and merciless. Secrets are power's most loyal companions. They whisper in the stillness, revealing possibilities and consequences that remain unseen by others. One flicker of revelation can illuminate truths or destroy carefully constructed worlds. Decisions made here unobserved have a strange autonomy. They shape futures quietly, imperceptibly, yet irrevocably. In this solitude, the unseen threads of influence are woven, invisible but undeniable. Objects themselves seem to bend beneath the gaze of unseen authority. A chair slightly askew, a paper turned face down, a candle extinguished with precise intent. They all convey messages of control. Even inanimate things carry weight in the absence of witnesses. Subtlety becomes a language, and every gesture, no matter how small, holds power. It is here, in the silence of these minute acts, that true authority is exercised, without audience, without recognition, without reward. Morality, in the presence of isolation, becomes intimate and personal. When no one watches, the heart itself judges each action. Right and wrong are no longer dictated by laws or applause, but by conscience alone. Here, power is accountable only to itself. In these moments, a single decision, a slight hesitation, or a deliberate choice carries the weight of unseen worlds. There are no eyes to witness it, yet every action resonates outward, shaping reality in subtle, untraceable ways. Picture a single candle burning in a vast, dark study. Shadows stretch across shelves, across walls, across empty floors. Papers rustle as if they breathe, carrying secrets, echoing intentions. Every inked word, every mark made in this solitude will ripple far beyond the room, farther than any observer could track. The world remains unaware, yet these quiet moments determine destinies. It is here, between light and shadow, that power fully reveals itself. Solitude strips away the masks that authority wears in public. Confidence fades, leaving vulnerability exposed. Here, strength is not in display, not in words, not in applause. True power resides in the courage to act alone, to make decisions without validation, to shape the course of events silently. In these private hours, the individual becomes both judge and executor, architect and witness, wielding authority without audience, without acknowledgement, without noise. Sometimes power manifests as quiet cruelty, executed with surgical precision. Other times, it expresses itself as hidden kindness, transformative yet unacknowledged. Both forms exist unseen, invisible to the world, yet capable of altering lives profoundly. The measure of influence is not in spectacle, but in subtlety. The world reacts, unaware of the hands guiding it. And in these silent acts, the essence of authority pulses, quietly, persistently, and absolutely. The corridors of influence, emptied of human presence, carry stories that no one will hear. Walls seem alive, echoing the ghosts of past choices, whispering warnings and secrets. Decisions made here linger in the air, pressing on every surface. Even silence becomes heavy with the weight of consequences. The unseen architecture of authority takes shape in these empty chambers, forming patterns that only solitude can reveal. In private, power confronts temptation in its purest form. Every opportunity to take, to withhold, to manipulate, to direct is magnified in isolation. The absence of scrutiny forces a reckoning with self, unshielded by ceremony or applause. These unseen choices define character. Here, the solitary figure wrestles with desire, fear, and responsibility, all unobserved, yet monumental. Inaction, too, becomes a form of influence. To wait, to watch, to refrain, is to assert control over outcomes in ways the world may never recognize. The absence of action can alter trajectories more decisively than commands. Here, power whispers its quiet authority, shaping the unseen currents of events. And in these silent pauses, the echoes of decisions carry far beyond what anyone could anticipate. Power flows like water, soft, invisible, relentless. A gesture here, a pause there, a subtle breath, and yet the course of events bends imperceptibly. The world outside remains oblivious, yet within these quiet moments, the currents of authority sweep everything along their path. Subtlety, patience, and timing are as vital as strength or force. This is where mastery is born, unseen but undeniable. Alone, power confronts its own reflection. Doubt and fear rise without audience, and regrets surface unshielded by ceremony. Here, decisions are weighed with an intensity impossible under scrutiny. The internal dialogue becomes the fiercest of tests, and in confronting oneself, the true character of authority emerges. Strength is measured in choices made when no one is watching, in courage taken without acknowledgement, in conviction that exists beyond applause. A candle illuminates a hand hovering above a document, every shadow cast deliberate, every movement calculated. Each choice here is a silent message, invisible but powerful. There are no witnesses, no validation, no recognition. Yet consequences emerge, far-reaching and irreversible. This is the hidden theater of power, where the faintest act can alter the fabric of reality without ever being seen. Silence becomes the truest companion of authority. Between breaths, between words, between decisions, the unseen force of influence moves with precision. It is felt rather than heard, sensed rather than acknowledged. In the void left by absence, power thrives, carving reality from shadows, shaping futures from stillness, asserting its presence without spectacle or fanfare. Moonlight pours through tall windows, illuminating halls emptied of spectators. Shadows stretch long and heavy, almost sentient, as though the very structure bears witness to private deliberations. Every step, every pause, every subtle breath becomes amplified. Decisions made in darkness have their own gravity, quietly pulling events toward inevitable outcomes, unobserved, unremarked, yet absolute. Power is paradox, ephemeral yet eternal, subtle yet overwhelming. It does not shout, it whispers. It does not demand attention, it shapes reality. It thrives in quiet corners, in hidden moments, in choices made alone. True authority is not seen, it is felt. Its consequences ripple outward like invisible waves, shaping the world with imperceptible precision. Listen to the quiet. In its gaps, its pauses, its silences, the true language of power is spoken. The world cannot hear it nor comprehend it, but its effects are everywhere. Every breath, every hesitation, every unnoticed gesture contributes to its force. It is the rhythm beneath the chaos, the pulse beneath appearances, the unseen hand that guides and molds the course of history. The story of power is not written in headlines. It is etched in shadows, carried in silence, enacted in moments when no one is watching. Here, in these private hours, in the hush between choices, lies the deepest truth of authority. Subtle, relentless, invisible. It is power in its purest, most unyielding form.